Would you take a look at that, guys? The markets ended up closing on a downswing today. We had the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell. Pretty much all of these went down about 0.1 to 0.2%. The VIX went down 4%. Gold broke even as silver went down 1.7%. And in a couple of minutes here, we're going to break down crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum. It seems like you guys want me to cover that more on a day-to-day basis for a couple of minutes in these videos. So I'm going to be doing that, right? Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, so I always like hearing your suggestions, and I'll tweak my videos if that's what you guys want to see. So with that being said, you guys know the deal. We're going to break down the markets today, charts, stocks, all that good stuff. So sit back, relax, get your 10 stocks from Moo, link down below, and your 6 stocks from Webull, also linked down below. Literally free money, and it also helps out the channel if you guys use those links down below. I appreciate you. And with that being said, let's dive into the video. So check it out, guys. SPY ended up hitting a fresh intraday high at about 378.70. That was at about 2:15 p.m. on the East Coast, and then we ended up selling off from that point all the way into the close. And we can see here we ended up dumping under the moving averages, and we got a death cross heading into the close. We can see SPY went down about 1.1 to about 1.2% in that time period. And triple Q, if I pull it up, this went from about 284 at 2:15 on the East Coast down to about 280.5, dropping 1.3% in that time period. And we can see here, if we pull up the 20-day chart, this is not a good sign for triple Q. The fact that we didn't break out of 285. I mentioned this in my previous video, 284, 285, that's a big resistance, not only from earlier today, but also from yesterday and from a couple of days ago where we hit it here on the 15th of June. So the fact that sellers are coming in here on triple Q, that's not good, around 284. Now, it is still above both moving averages, which is good, but it's hanging on by a thread. At this point, if we do collapse under here, which I do suspect is heavily possible here in the short term, we might see a big dump off under 275, and it might get uglier from there. Honestly, if we do fall under these moving averages. And pulling up SPY, let's see what's going on here. SPY barely even broke out of the 180 moving average on the 20-day chart here. It did a little bit, but we ended up dumping, like I showed you, into close, and we ended up closing under it alongside of closing under the highs from yesterday being around 376. We closed at 374 today. So if this falls under, let's say 370, which is where I'm going to put a mark is at or below alert. If SPY falls under 370, watch out below, guys. That is going to be a pretty ugly spot, a spot where selling could really start accelerating. And today, if you didn't know, we had Jerome Powell testifying, and I do want to read a little bit of something here that he said, and it's a lot of the same crap, right? When Jerome Powell, he's testifying, it's a lot of the same crap over and over and over again. He said, at the Fed, we understand the hardship high inflation is causing. No freaking kidding, right, Jerome Powell? We are strongly committed to bringing inflation back down, and we are moving expeditiously to do so. And we have both the tools we need, we've heard that before, and the resolve it will take, I don't know, maybe, hopefully, to restore price stability on behalf of American families and businesses. And the funny thing is, guys, Elizabeth Warren, let's talk a little bit about this. Elizabeth Warren, she responded to this saying, and she warned Powell that the continued rate hikes could tip this economy into recession. Hello, Elizabeth Warren, wake up. We're already in a recession. Stop playing this political game, even though she and all the politicians are going to be playing the political game. We're already in a recession. In my opinion, we've been in a recession for months. I think the first time I mentioned it that I thought we were in a recession was probably 3 months ago. Maybe we weren't in a recession 3-4 months ago, but right now we sure as heck are in a recession. And I'm not sure if I added this. She said, like I mentioned, she said the continued rate hikes could tip this economy into recession without stopping inflation. That's possible. I mean, it's a possibility, but again, we're already in a recession. So at this point, he might as well raise rates a little bit more to try and calm this inflation down. So I mean, yeah, wake up, Elizabeth Warren. We're already in a recession. She also said, you know what's worse than high inflation and low unemployment is high inflation and a recession with millions of people out of work, and I hope you understand, or rather I hope you'll consider that before you drive the economy off a cliff. And the truth is, guys, at this point, what has gotten us to this point, right? It's been the crazy money printing, the stimulus, all the checks, right, being handed out. And this has made people lazy and not wanting to work, which I guess that I'm not going to say that's off topic, but that is a whole different, realm that we're not going to get into in this video. But a lot of people at this point already know we're in a recession. Some people don't, but we are at a point where we have to stop the inflation. And if it was up to Elizabeth Warren, she would most likely cut rates back to zero and start printing more money, which if she wants inflation to slow down, but she also wants to cut rates and print more money, which causes inflation, what am I missing here, guys? Please let me know in the comments. What am I missing? It doesn't make sense, right? It does not make sense. This is just stupid. So at this point, we got that out of pal Elizabeth Warren. There's a lot more, but it's a lot of the same mumbo jumbo BS. And the markets, I guess they were hopeful earlier in the day, but they ended up clearly, like I mentioned, closing red. And if I pull up here, Webull, let me pull up Webull very quickly, guys, and show you all what's going on Ethereum and on good old Bitcoin. Ethereum is currently down 4.6%, hovering right about at roughly 1070, and Bitcoin is roughly at, let me see here, BTC, let's pull it up. Bitcoin, or actually, there it is. Bitcoin is right around 20,150. So they're pretty much right where they were when I previously covered them earlier today. And what I'm noticing here is, and shout out to I got a comment earlier talking about or mentioning how we are seeing head and shoulders on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that reminded me of exactly that. And I remember seeing this months ago, the start of the head and shoulders, but now that we're collapsing, it's fully playing out. I mean, this is nuts. And by the way, this is on the 5-year chart. You guys can see, or is this the 5-year chart? Either way, it's a chart that has multiple years, right? Whether it's 3, 5, I think it's the 5-year chart. Anyway, we can see clearly a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and now we're well on our way to completing that right shoulder. So, I mean, if this really starts to complete, where does this put BTC? In my opinion, anywhere from 7 to 10,000, which we almost hit 70,000, guys. Historically speaking, 85-90% drawdowns are normal. Bitcoin could have another 50% more downside, maybe even more. We're currently at 20. I think it could come 8 to 10,000. That's where that right shoulder completes, and we get to that 85 to 90% drawdown level. And I've mentioned this time and time again. That is where I'm looking to buy back a lot of my Bitcoin. And this is a speculative bet for me. I'm not putting my life savings into Bitcoin. I'm putting a very small amount. I want to, at least, at those levels. And I'm going to let it ride. And I'm going to be patient until we get to those levels, even if that means I never end up getting into Bitcoin. I'm not going to chase it if it runs up now to 40, 50,000. I'm not doing that, right? I'd just be on the sidelines even longer if that ended up happening. So, yeah, pretty much what I'm noticing here. And again, shout out to that comment for reminding me of this. This head and shoulders is fully intact on both Bitcoin and on Ethereum. You guys can see it clear as day here on the 5-year, 3-year, whatever freaking time frame this is. And by the way, this charting software that you're seeing right here, this is Webull. It's a great trading app if you want an all-in-one commission-free brokerage, which at this point, all of them are commission-free. But this one is truly great, especially if you want to use it from a trading perspective, the charting software, indicators. You can buy here, sell here, do everything. The link's down below if you guys want 6 free stocks from Webull. And with that being said, let's dive into some stocks. So the first one I want to talk about is Rite Aid, ticker symbol RAD, which, by the way, guys, Rite Aid reports earnings in the morning, I think at 6, 7 a.m., Central Standard Time. And they ended up going up a lot today, I guess, in anticipation of earnings. The stock hit $7. It closed at $6.70. Now, after the bell, it's at $6.80, and it went up 6.1% on the day. So this is a big move for Rite Aid, and now it is finally out of both moving averages after being under them for a good almost 3 months since the middle towards the end of March. So this is a very big, or a good sign rather, that especially if we get good earnings, we could have more upside in the short term, especially considering this stock's been super beaten down. And now that I'm looking at it, we have an inverse head and shoulders now forming here on the 4-hour chart. If I zoom in a bit, you guys can see that. There could be upside towards 850 based on what I'm seeing here on the 4-hour chart. Now, the next stock I'm looking at is good old MNST, also known as Monster, guys. Monster pretty much broke even on the day, went down 0.1% on the day, and by the looks of it, we're starting to see some sort of maybe cup and handle forming. If this takes out 91.75, $92, the resistance from I think almost 2 weeks ago, or actually a little bit over 2 weeks ago, if 91.92 breaks on the stock, there's going to be a big move towards the mid-high 90s. And I know I've been saying this for a couple of weeks on this stock, but it hasn't happened yet. But I do believe at some point it's likely to happen, in my opinion. And of course, guys, I'm not telling you to buy, sell, do anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just breaking down stocks here the way I'm seeing it. So MNST, watch out for it. I like it. Of course, you guys know I'm watching SQQQ and SPXS. At this point, that is a given. I didn't buy any of these today, but if we do get more volatility tomorrow, which is likely to happen, if we get some selling tomorrow, these are two that I'm very likely to trade. SPXS goes up when the S&P goes down, and we have SQQQ, which goes up whenever the NASDAQ 100 goes down. So those are two I'm watching, SQQQ, SPXS. As always, guys, you should keep an eye on those as well, but trade at your own risk. We have Alibaba, which went down 1.2% on the day. This is still holding the above $100, the uptrend here on the 4-hour chart as well. Not to mention, we are seeing a golden cross as well. So Alibaba, in my opinion, looks poised for a move back towards 115, maybe $120+ a share. And until we start breaking under 195, you can't convince me otherwise. I think there's going to be more upside here on Alibaba. And who knows, the technicals could prove me wrong, but we're not there yet, guys. So BABA, I'm going to set my alert. I'll put it at $110. Mark is at or above $110. We'll see what it does from that point, if that point ends up hitting at some point this week. So I got a comment yesterday, and shout out to you. I forget your name, but you commented KWEB, ticker symbol KWEB. And I'll be the first to tell you, I have no idea what this company does at all. I'll be the first to tell you. I don't know if the financials look good. I don't know the fundamentals. I don't even know what industry this company is in. I probably should have looked at that before making this video. But based on the charts, I can tell you for sure this stock is reversing. Number one, it is reversing for sure. It's been, well, first of all, it downtrended all the way from the middle of November, like a lot of stocks did. That's when a lot of stocks started crashing, all the way up until May. No joke. End of May. So this thing downtrended for 6+ months, and now just recently, end of May, early June, it started to break out. You can see it here. We're above the moving averages now. We got a golden cross, and yeah, this is very good in my opinion. It looks like we're in a wedge, higher lows, lower highs, and at this point, it's the moment of truth. We're in this wedge, like I mentioned, and we've dug ourselves deep into it, and we have to pick direction. Are we going to take out 32.50, 33 on the upside? If you guys take a look here, I might as well put it at 33, my alert. If you take a look on the 5-day chart, where have we failed time and time again the past 5 days? And look at the 10-day chart. The past 10 days, more than 10 days, we failed at $33. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5. So I think if this takes out 33, we break the top of the wedge, that would be very bullish. Good call out on KWEB. I like it. And from $33, this might be going 35, to 38-ish. That's the next range that I can see this thing going. 35 being the high from earlier in June, and 38 roughly being that range, rather the resistance throughout the beginning, middle of January to about the beginning, middle of February. So watch out for K-Web. I'm also watching Google, which earlier in the day, I think it was up around 2%, maybe over 2%. It ended up closing the day pretty much at break even. I'm watching Google to see if it could miraculously, which if we do end up crashing in the markets, guys, this probably won't happen. But if we maybe get a flat market, maybe we rally, who the heck knows what's going to happen. Google could end up ripping out of this 180 moving average, which right now that is right where we are. And mind you, we failed there earlier in June. So quite honestly, we're probably going to fail there again. In fact, we already are. But who knows? We got to watch it anyway and see what Google ends up doing at that point. And another one, I guess this could be the last one for the video, is Upwork, ticker symbol UPWK. Like some other stocks we mentioned in this video, Upwork is also breaking out of this both moving averages for the first time in a couple of months, many months. So that's a good sign. Upwork went up about 6.6% on the day, and we're also trading. It's also, it looks like it did break out of the highs from last week and the week before, being around $20.50. We did make a move above that at some point earlier today. So that's a good sign. Let's see if Upwork could continue maybe towards 23, maybe 24-ish dollars. That's the next gap that I'm seeing here on the 4-hour chart. And you guys can see that even better. This is the zoomed in 4-hour chart. Maybe if you look at the 20-day chart, there you go. You can see it even better. We break 21. It's going to be a breakout stock in my opinion. So with that being said, that's it. If you all found value, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, join my Patreon if you want all my moves in the markets in real time, buys, sells, call outs, all that good stuff, morning videos, more access to me throughout the day. That's on Patreon, link down below, or you can go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon and make sure to get your 6 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. That's linked down below, and you could also get 10 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be valued all the way up to $2,500. So get your free money, link down below, guys. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.